How's it going, y'all? It's Nix's here. I got an anonymous tip from my brother saying, react to this quick. And it's called LOD Freestyle by Desiigner. Now, for those who don't know, Desiigner, I haven't heard shit from Desiigner in I want to say 10 years. I think the last song I ever heard from him was Timmy Turner, which was right after he blew up because of his breakout song, Panda. So, this just released a day ago. So, we about to go ahead and get into it. But, if you like the video, go ahead and slap that like button, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more. And without further ado, we're going to see what Desiigner's bringing to the table, because it's been a long time. And bro looking like a smaller version of Rick Ross already. Alright, Desiigner, let's see what you cooking today.
I'm only talking to Brooklyn right now. Throw this shit back. Hey, yo, New York, stand the fuck out. My nigga Domingo, East New York representing. I'm feeling the vibe. I know that I'm I'ma demolish, blows niggas up like polish, slam hard in the paint, and I ain't been wireless. Tony Hawk, kicked at the brick, then I grind it. All my wrist, so you know it's shining. So, fuck niggas can't ask the time. Team about the green like Rondo, we packed the 9. Have his face.
Ooh. Okay, he's spitting already. I don't know what the fuck that hairline is on. He need to cut that shit down or just cut it off. But he's spitting some game right now. All right, let's rewind this. This beat is nice too. Domingo, shout out to you. This beat is fire.
I'ma demolish, blows niggas up like polish, slam hard in the paint, and I ain't been wireless. Tony Hawk kicked up the brick, then I grind it.
Tony Hawk kicked up the brick? God, okay. Bars. We spitting bars today. Okay.
So you know it's shining, so
got the Audemars Piguet, yep.
Team about the green like Rondo, we packed the 9.
Team about the, okay, the green like Rondo. He's talking about Rajon Rondo. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Team about the green like Rondo, we packed the 9. Have his face all sour like he tasted lime. Get it? Yeah, remember.
Have his face all sour like he tasted lime. And then he said, get it? Oink, get it? Because he tasted lime? Because we green like Rondo? Because the... Oh, he tastes the 9? Have his face sour? Oh, because when you get your face all scrunched up, have him looking like he just ate a lime, have his face sour, taste the 9, like the 9 milli... Okay. Yep. I see what you did. That was smooth. Okay. Desiigner? This is the same nigga. This isn't the same dude, is it? There's no way this is the same dude. This can't be the same dude. The one that was in the interview talking about some... like, just autistic vocal stimming the entire interview. Is this the same nigga?
Kimbo, have his whole body lean back like his limb, a fresh pair of Timbos, 2 guns of Kimbo, have his whole body.
Ooh, fresh pair of Timbos, the Tims, the Timberlands, the Constructs, 2 guns of Kimbo. Okay, nasty. Have his whole... Have his ass lean back like Limbo. Been spitting bars since the days of Nintendo. Look, I grew up in a Nintendo household, okay? My GameCube is now officially 20-something years old now, and it still works. It's got its little kinks in here and there. It's starting to show its age a little bit, but it still works. Beautifully, I might add. This N rhyme scheme that he's doing with the N-O vowel sounds is crazy. Like, goddamn. Fucking rhyming limbo, akimbo, got the Timbos, fucking been out here since the days of Nintendo. Watch out, Extendo. God damn. Okay. Okay, designer.
Hold on, Flex, we going crazy. Hold on. Boy, Chuck just started the ignition. Tom Cruise, get away, I complete a mission. Leave a murder scene quickly without.
Okay. Alright. Let's rerun that, because I just caught that. I caught that bar. Ford truck just started the ignition. Tom Cruise, because you know I'm on the mission, because you know Tom Cruise has been in Mission Impossible for like 20 years. God damn it. Ever since the, who directed those movies? Was it James Wan that directed those? I think it was. And we talking about like the old, not the OG, but like the very first couple of Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg, and I think it was somebody else. Was it Zoe Saldana? Was she in one of those? I think she was. But yeah, oh my god, okay.
Get away, I complete a mission, leave a murder scene quickly without a witness. Listen to Fabulous, fuck the competition, I'm the drill sergeant.
Listen to Fabulous, fuck the competition. We got call-outs, smooth, movie doubles. Alright, go ahead, keep going.
Do the jumping jack, think be the good critic, tell them niggas holler back in the street. I'm a type of nigga that'll never lack. Catch me in the church with the pistol tucked in the slack, Mac 11.
Catch me in the church with the pistol tucked in the slack. We praising God and stomping feet. We pulling eclipse right now. Look, I praise God. I will close your heaven for the hell of it. Just, all right. He said, I keep my morals, my religion, my integrity strong. However, I'm not afraid to catch a body if I need to. Just catch me in the church with the pistol tucked in the...
57, we send the devil on high on the scoreboard. Yeah, we got some level back. Catch me in the church with the pistol tucked in the slack. Mac 11, 357, we send the devil on high on the scoreboard.
Mac 11, 357, we send the devil on him. God damn it. God damn it. High on the scoreboard. We got some devils on him. Cause, all right. Also, can we just appreciate how clear he sounds? Like, in Panda, he did not sound this clear. He sounded high off of his ass. I got bros in Atlanta. He started sounding like Rick Ross. Like, can we just appreciate, he sounds so clear and articulate, and he just sounds good. His vocals are great. They are fantastic. Oh my God. And it took me a while to realize this, because I was like, this isn't the same dude. Like, this is a brand new designer that we have never seen before. I love this. I love this. These old rappers that originally came out on some bullshit have cleaned themselves up, and now they out here spitting game. Kendrick Lamar ruined hip-hop, my fucking ass. Whoever says that and actually believes it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull a koala. Trash. What the fuck did he kept saying? He must have said that shit like 50,000 times, too. I can't remember it. You weak. You trash. Lousy. Lousy, stinking trash.
Still ain't find that case, I put a shovel on him. We put the metal to him.
Still ain't find the case, we put a shovel on him. Talking about burying the body. Burying the body so they can't find him. Like, goddamn. Okay.
We got them, we live in lavish lifestyle. I got rich, but still savage. City kid go psycho, dirty bastards. 13-bit magazine, I'm called a habit. Rob the rich nigga.
13-bit magazine, I'm called a habit. Oh my God.
We put the metal to him. Got me, we got them, we live in lavish Lifestyle, I got rich, but still savage. Said the kid go psycho on dirty bastards. 13, big magazine, I'm causing havoc.
Okay.
Rich niggas is poor, kick it through the door. Every day trying to get rich, I want a little more. Sipping lean up on.
Every day I want to get rich. Every day trying to get rich, I want a little more. Yeah, so he's talking about that hubris, man. Every day I'm getting rich, but I want just a little more. And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just you want that little piece more, and you want a little more, and you want a little more, and then you go way too far, and you fuck it up, and then you end up losing it all. But, like, he's acknowledging that he's got that vice. He's like, yeah, I'm already rich and famous, but I also want a little more. And he was like, I can't escape it. I'm human. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's how humans are. We are fallible by nature. So we easily succumb to these vices. And so that he's acknowledging that. And I can respect him for saying it, honestly. You know, because not many rappers will admit that. They'd be like, you know, they'll be like, oh, I mean, I want it all. I want it all. But he's just like, no, I want a little more, because it's always that little more that messes you up the hardest.
Talking to the Lord, niggas think they getting some money. I'm digging in a drum. See, niggas is poor, kick it through the door. Every day trying to get rich, I want a little more. Sipping lean up all night, talking to the Lord, niggas think they getting some money.
Did he like sip and lean all night talking to the Lord? Is he talking to the Lord while he high on lean? Or is he saying I'm talking to the law? Nah, he ain't talking to the law. He ain't snitching. Nah, he's sipping that perp drink, that purple stuff, talking to Jesus. Why you talking to Jesus on that dirty Sprite? On that better be holy water that you up there drinking. Yeah. You better be up there drinking holy water, talking to the Lord. The fuck? You ain't sitting in your room talking to Jesus, sipping lean. Hell wrong with you? Okay, I like this. I like this pocket that he went into. It's very simple, very staccato, but it still rides the beat.
No pig, kill them all. Went to the Grammys, I fed the family, did it all. A lot of mistakes, but I'ma make it through it all. God, how you feel about me? I'm at the top by myself, how you feel about me?
God, how you feel about me? I'm at the top by myself, how you feel about me? And he's not saying it in the way that he's at the, he's the only rapper in the industry who's at the top. He means like he's at the top by himself with no family, no friends, no loved ones. He's saying it's lonely at the top. And it is. It is very, very lonely at the top. Because a lot of times, the people who you thought were there for you, once you make it to where you're going, they'll turn their back on you. Because they'll think, oh, you think you too good for us. We don't even have to be here no more. You just being selfish. You won't help us out at the bottom. You won't, let us leech off of you. You think you too good for us now. And so, I don't know, it's just human nature. And he said that I'm at the top. How do you feel about me? By myself. I made it by myself. I didn't have any help. I mean, obviously he had help. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, you need the industry, dude. Like, it wasn't a solo effort, but it was a solo effort on his part as the artist. Okay.
On the block with the gat, how you feel about me? If he a op, he a rat, how you feel about me? That's how you feel about me.
If he a op, he a rat, how you feel about me? Damn. I'm on the block with the gat, how you feel about me? He's basically asking God, he's like, I am here with all of my flaws. How do you feel? How do I stand? Where do I stand in your eyes? And it's a very, very vulnerable, very introspective question, because he's basically standing before God and saying, here I am with all of my flaws. What do I have to do to be pleasing in your eyes? He's saying, how do you feel about me? And the fact that he's even coming to God and asking him that means that he is, in fact, attempting to seek a relationship with God. And I hate these elitist Christians that'll condemn people just because they're buried in the ways of the world, and then they'll get mad when they mention God, and they'll be like, don't you bring up God like that when you're so deep in the world. That's blasphemy. The fact that they're bringing up God at all, especially in this manner, shows that their heart is already on the right track. They have already turned and focused their attention to God. And they are now, whether they realize it or not, they have already started that journey down the path of salvation. And Jesus didn't, go and preach to all the saved people. He went down into the trenches. Jesus went into them streets to preach, okay? Because that's their target. It's not the people that are up here in the churches judging everybody from their $1 million mansions. He's targeting the poor, the desolate, the meek, the ostracized, the people that have been cast out by the rest of society. That's who he's targeted. Those are his targets. He's like, these are who I want. I want my lost children to come home. And he loves the children that are already there too. But when he's going out and bringing people in, he's specifically looking for the lost, the broken, the confused, the wayward sons, the prodigal sons and daughters, to bring them back home. And that's a beautiful thing. And people, I've heard this debate about, the world getting mixed in and twisted up with the Christian and the Lord and everything. There's, in a way, if utilized correctly, it can be a good thing. But there is always a silver lining with that, because when you start integrating the ways of the church with the ways of the world, if you don't utilize it properly, you end up getting lost in the silver lining. You end up getting lost in the muddy waters, and the lines begin blurring. But not because the lines are actually blurred, but because your perception of that line is now being blurred because you're being seduced by the world. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, if you want to preach to, like Kirk Franklin, for example, his whole mission was to bring the gospel to your typical black R&B household. He infused hip hop and gospel to bring it to the youth, to speak in their language, to let them know, hey, Christians, we can have fun too. But as long as, the message is clear, as long as the purpose behind it is clear and it stands within, God's good graces, we can have fun too. We don't have to be all uppity and uptight like these damn Catholics, and we don't have to go and sit in a pew and listen to this boring sermon for not even 30 minutes and eat our cheese, eat our crackers, drink our little juice cups and be on out. Like, we can have fun and praise God and actually enjoy it. But then you start getting into the ways of the world where, you start going into deeply. You start getting involved with the wrong crowds. You start getting involved with drug addicts, and instead of trying to bring them closer to God, you end up falling into that same trap as them and succumbing to the same vice. So you can see how one slip up would completely mess up the entire plan. And so that's why you have to be very, very careful when you are going into the world to preach to the masses, because it's a very fine line that can easily be crossed, and it'll take a lifetime to get back on track. I'll probably just make a whole video on this, because if I keep going, this video is going to end up being way longer than it should be. Let's continue.
Yeah, I hear rap, how you feel about it? Flex, how you feel about it? Game, no choice, kill them all. Hear the pain in my voice, kill them all.
Hear the pain in my voice, kill them all. Okay.
Big dog stepping in the spot to feel the energy. Cameras on my house just to watch out for the enemy.
Cameras on my house.
On my side, he a friend of me. God, how you feel? Running to the top for the mills. I want it all.
Says devil on my side, they're a friend of me. So he's saying I have my enemy. To him, he's saying I got the enemy on my side. I'll say that's cap, but he said it, and he says, and then he says, "How do you feel about me?" Because I'm here. I have, I've got the vices, I've got the Hennessy, I've got the street violence, the gang violence, all of that shit. He's like, I've got that on my side. How do you feel about me? And it's a very, like I said before, it's a very vulnerable, introspective question. It's an average sinner asking God, hey, how do you feel about me that I'm doing all this? Are you gonna judge me like all these other people that claim to be Christians? Like, do you know my heart as well as you say you do? And it can be interpreted as, kind of taunting and challenging, but in a way it's basically that, even asking the question, presenting that question, is basically opening themselves up to receive the word and receive the spirit. And just because it's a power dynamic, and when you ask introspective, vulnerable questions like that, you're opening yourself up to whoever you are asking this question to, whether you realize it or not. It's a psychological thing. You're not necessarily surrendering control, but you're loosening your grip on yourself and offering somebody else the chance to come in and help, which is sometimes the biggest step to take on the path to recovery. For your alcohol addicts or your drug addicts, they say, I can quit whenever I want to, but it's that key tentative step to where they surrender that control, in a sense, not fully, but enough to be like, to acknowledge the fact that they have a problem and to put their trust in somebody that they care about, that they love, so that they can help them. And this is what he's doing. This sounds like a cry for help, actually. Now that I'm like reading into it, this sounds like a sinner who knows he's a sinner, and he's literally rapping his game, but underneath that layer, you can hear the inner version of him basically crying out. He's like, I'm here. I have my flaws. I know I've done some really bad things, but how do you feel about me? What do I need to do? Can you reach me? Is basically what this is summarizing to. It's, can you reach me from deep within the world? Can you still see me even with all of my flaws? God damn it. Okay, Desiigner, I see you, man. I see you. And I love that this beat is very like old school, very classic. Trying to think, very it gives me Still Dre vibes. With that, like that piano going in the riff, and then the very casual kind of West Coast chillin' LA beat. This is giving me very much Still Dre vibes. But I love this. Like, he's rapping his usual flex game. He's rapping that usual street shit. But there's a layer of maturity that's like buried in underneath, that's trying to push its way out. And the fact that he references God multiple times throughout the verse, and it's the same question. It's, how do you feel about me? He is literally asking, do you see me? Can you still see me? Even through all these layers of sin, can you still see my heart? And I know the surface level thing is the flex. I'm on top. I made it. I did my grind. I did some things that I'm not proud of, or maybe he is proud of it on the surface. He's proud of it. But there seems to be a little bit of, remorse underneath. Just the fact that he was able to clean himself up this much and actually spit this freestyle and be coherent is testament to the fact that he's actually wanting to change himself for the better. And he says he's in his house sipping lean or whatever, talking to God and everything. But it's like, ain't nobody sipping lean talking to God. And if you sipping lean and you can hear the voice of God, then you might have some psychological issues. Mainly, people usually will talk to God when they take like some peyote or some DMT or some that ayahuasca. I'm trying to think. Is there another part to this? That's interesting. That part where he looks up. He's looking. When I imagine that's him. Is this grainy, kind of dark, heavy, just like black and white? It's the shadows are heavily accentuated, but you can see there's a light coming from above him, and that light is like because you can see the reflection off of his shoulders. That there's like a single light coming from down, and it looks like there's a light coming from behind him as well to kind of accentuate. No, okay, no, because then I would see the white line around the edges. But it looks like it's coming from above him. There's some kind, and he looks up at that light. I'm catching these little hidden nuances in here. Like he's got the drip on and everything. He's got the jacket. He's got the Audemars Piguet. He's got the I'm trying to think. He doesn't have a hat on or anything. He's got the ice. Directed by Matt Fingers and Varsky. Okay. Yeah, again, Domingo, shout out to you, dude. Shout out to you. Because I like that freestyle. He came in, he did what he had to do, he rapped his shit. His message was clear. It may have been, his message was clear. He was like, I flex, I do my stuff, I'm still here grinding, I'm still doing my street, my hood shit. But there's also that element underneath where he's really like, am I still visible in the eyes of God? Is there still a place for me in heaven? And I don't know if it's probably going to take a while before he can safely get to that point to where he will actually want to pursue a place in heaven. But the wanting is there. And that is the biggest step of all. Is the actual aspiration to want to be there. The actual aspiration to want to talk to God and have a relationship with him. It starts there. Baby steps. I like where he's going with this. I hope in the future that he will continue down this path and really look within himself and see if he truly is worthy of being, I wouldn't say worthy, but if his heart truly is worthy to be in God's graces. Because it is. Everybody deserves a spot because we're all God's children. However, there are people who will be corrupted by the ways of the world, and there's no going back. And it's like God still loves them, of course, but much like a father who just found out like their son has gone to pursue a life of crime, you feel he's disappointed. He's saddened by this. He's like, he still loves his child. He's like, yeah, that's my child. However, I don't agree with the path that he's gone down. But that doesn't mean that I don't still love him. And that if he came to my door tonight on like asking me to take him back and saying, I'm sorry, I messed up, I want to change my life around, God's like, I will take you into my arms. And it would be like you never left. Because that's how much I care about my children. That's how much I love you. Is that you could be at your lowest and you come to me and you say, help, please. And he's like, I'm not going to hold it over your head. I'm not going to try to, assert some type of dominance. I'm not going to make you feel worthless. I'm not going to make you feel bad. I'm going to embrace you first because I'm happy that you're back. And then I'm going to help you. I'm going to help clean you up and bring you down the right path. But it's that conscious decision to want to change that's going to set things in motion. Because God's not going to force people to want to change their hearts. That's why we have free will. If we want to change and be better, we have to have it within ourselves to do it. And making that choice is the first step down the path of salvation. So, Desiigner, good job, bro. Like, shout out to you. Shout out to Domingo. Shout out to whoever else did the cinematography and the editing and everything. I think I said it in the video, but shout out to y'all. Y'all did your thing. Desiigner, I respect you, homie. You came here. You did what needed to be done. You understood the assignment. It was a nice little beat, too. It was a nice freestyle. And I got another freestyle I got to react to as well, so keep on the lookout for that. But I'll probably be doing that when I get back to my actual recording setup at home. But this was just something I needed to do because my brother sent it to me and was like, react to this right now. And so I did. Like I said, I haven't seen anything from Desiigner since Panda and Timmy Turner. And he was deep in the trenches back then, man. He was like bone skinny, looked like he sustained like CTE. Bro was just throwing out, like I said, autistic vocal stems during interviews. Like he was just out of his damn mind. Like, you could tell he was clearly under the influence of something, and I think it was that lean. It wasn't quite like Wayne level of lean, but it was pretty damn close. But as always, I have been Nixon.